Breaking news, 31 workers rescued after a tunnel collapse in Wilmington. This is a live look at a much calmer scene tonight.
It was a massive rescue operation. Earlier, we saw workers being pulled up in these yellow cages.
And we are getting new information about the tunnel collapse. KCAL News reporter Tom Waite is there. And Tom, you just heard from the mayor.
We did. The mayor spoke here, as well as a number of other officials, including the congressman who represents this area. We also spoke to a woman whose husband was in the collapsed tunnel area and was rescued. You can imagine how frightened she was. We'll have her interview in just a little bit. But let me walk you through kind of what happened tonight. A terrifying scene, really. And even the public officials that came here tonight echoed that, saying that they feared the worst when they heard about this collapse. Around 8 o'clock, the call came in from just behind me here in Wilmington. The Clearwater Tunnel Project. It's a project being built 7 miles long. The idea is to create a better environmental drainage system for wastewater here in the area. Now, it's unclear exactly how deep this tunnel was because we're getting different reports from the officials here on the scene. One official told us 200, one official told us 400, but needless to say, these workers were several hundred feet underground. They were working on the boring machine that is boring this big deep hole from one end to the other, that 7 mile stretch. Around the 5 to 6 mile area, that's where the workers were when part of the tunnel, the lining of it, collapsed. They're not exactly sure what caused that, but debris came down. Some of the workers had to be pulled out of the debris. There were rescuers that went inside to pull them out. They rode sort of like what's a train, they said, basically, that took them all the way back to the other end of the tunnel, and then they were brought up through what they call bird cages, those sort of like cage-looking things that you see or that you just saw on your screen. So all of these folks, okay, 31 in total, workers and the rescuers total. They checked them out on scene, did a medical checkup, obviously a lot of relief. Take a listen as Mayor Bass here on the scene just a few moments ago.
I was so concerned that we were going to find tragedy. Instead, what we found was victory. All of the men that were in that tunnel rescued up safe. I am feeling very, very good that this is a great outcome in what started as a very scary evening.
We spoke with several people who had relatives who were in the tunnel. One person was a mother who had 3 sons that's working on this project. Another woman, as I said, whose husband was inside, and she got the call from him.
I ran over here and I asked the police, please let me through, and my husband's in there, and I just want to know if he's okay. And they said they couldn't give me any information, and they don't have service in the tunnel, so I know I wasn't going to get a call from him. But then as I'm sitting here waiting for him, he called and he said he's out and everything's going to be okay, so I got to hear from him.
That woman also telling us that, you know, when her husband goes to work, she doesn't know if he's going to come home. This is a very scary thing, she says, when they go into that tunnel. Again, those men, all of the men were told, operating that big boring machine that is, you know, drilling this massive hole. And we just don't know right now what the cause of the collapse was or how far the project will be set back. They were hoping to finish it by the end of the year. But for now, reporting live here in Wilmington, I'm Tom Waite, KCAL News.
Tom, thank you. Let's bring in now KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers, who's been following this from the start.
And Mike, you are learning more about exactly what this project is all about.
Yeah, you know, Pat and Rita, you heard Tom mention it a little bit. This is an LA County sanitation project. This is a facility there in Wilmington that treats wastewater and then sends that treated wastewater back into the ocean. Now, I want to show you some of the screen images here from the website of the company that does this. This is the facility here. The project, as Tom mentioned, called Clearwater, uses a boring machine, as you heard Tom mentioned, to dig through the surface of the earth. You can see here on your screen some of the images and projects, what they're doing. Now, according to LA County Department of Sanitation, the goal here is to replace 2 older and smaller tunnels that go from here in the Wilmington area out to the ocean in San Pedro. So what they were doing was building this tunnel. As Tom mentioned, it is a 7-mile project. They were about 6 or so miles complete, and the breakdown was at mile 5 of this tunnel. So again, as Tom mentioned, it's unclear exactly exactly what caused that breakdown to happen. But this project was a very, very large scale project that until tonight, many of us had no idea was underway there in the Wilmington area. But you can see this boring machine. It's very, very similar. It's almost exactly the same as what Metro uses to dig subway tunnels. We've got that extension going on near the Wilshire area. That's exactly what they're doing here. But in this situation, it is for that sewer project that is going from Wilmington there where the wastewater treatment facility is all the way down to the ocean in San Pedro, guys.
Mike, thank you.